Hello again. So today we're going to actually talk about something that is not software related, but more or less going to be talking about design related. And one of the aspects that you as a designer are always going to have to do is develop logos or some kind of brand identity for a company. Now, it is important for me to say that these are corporate brands, corporate logos. There are certain logos that you create for certain events. Usually those change on a yearly basis, and that's okay. We're talking about corporate logos, like corporate branding that you as a designer are going to have to do at some point in your career, is create logos and a brand. The Nike logo, for instance, is a well-recognized logo that is being used all over the world. And it's simple. It's a abstract shape that's being used for, well, their brand. So I'm going to talk about what logos are today in this particular session of the class. So we'll go ahead and kind of start here. So what is a logo? A logo is a symbol or design that identifies a brand or product and to provide a visual representation that people can easily recognize and associate with a brand. All right, so what types are there? Well, there are word marks, which is the brand name in a stylized font. Letter marks, which are initials or letters of that brand. There are icons, which is a graphic symbol representing the brand. A combination mark, which is a mix of a symbol and a word mark. And an emblem, a logo within a badge or a seal. So these are some examples of word marks. As you can tell that each one of these logos don't have any kind of pictures or pictographs or anything like that. They are the actual word put in a stylized type font. All right, usually that font is very unique. It's usually made specifically for that brand, and it doesn't move any farther from that. So letter marks are a little bit different. They're, again, not really symbol oriented, but more or less take an abbreviation of a certain company and putting it into a logo itself. So, for instance, IBM is basically a abbreviation of the company that's there, or HP, which refers to Hewlett Packard. So each one is kind of set up as their own logo, but using their initials. Their icon symbols, which are basically recognizable symbols. You can tell, like the Nike logo is there. You can tell by the Batman symbol, the shell, the Mac or Apple, Twitter. You can tell by Target or even the Olympic symbol. Those are recognizable symbols that have been branded to the point where everybody knows that symbol and knows what it's all about without having any kind of words in it whatsoever. And there are combination marks, which are basically using pictures, symbols, stuff like that, combined into a word and a stylized font, as you can see here. Emblems are a little bit different. Emblems actually refer to kind of like these little like badges that are made up. Still a logo, still identifiable brand. As you can tell, Starbucks is a very recognizable symbol out there. And it's just a circle as a badge. UPS is recognized. Harley Davidson, the NFL, Warner Brothers, President of the United States. All right, those are emblems, which are basically logos, but set more in a concealed badge of some sort. All right, so there are principles of effective logo designs. It has to be simple. If a logo is recognizable, you can tell. Good example is the Nike symbol. The Nike symbol is very recognizable and it is very, very simple. All right, so it has to easily be remembered. If it's complex, people are not going to remember it. It has to have memorability. All right, it stands out and leaves a lasting impression, like the Starbucks logo. It's being used all over the place, and it's recognizable. It's very different. It leaves a lasting impression. All right, timelessness will remain relevant and effective over time. Some logos that are designed are set up to the certain culture we're at now. They get, well, they lose their luster over time. All right. So it's don't go within trends that are going on right now. You need to create a logo that has some kind of like timelessness to it. It has to be versatile. Works across different mediums and scales. As I mentioned before in Illustrator, that's why we create logos in Illustrator, because they can be scaled to any size. So a logo, you can never tell where it's going to be. It could be on the side of a pen. It could be on the side of the Empire State Building. We just don't know. So you have to be able to plan for that. The appropriateness reflects the brand's identity and values. You wouldn't create a hospital medical facility corporate logo with a grunge type of font. All right, grunge type of font symbolizes disorder and chaos, and you don't want chaos and disorder when you're going into having a heart attack and you want somebody to be working on you. All right, you want something that's clean, very organized, very, straightforward and professional. All right, so always feel when you create a logo, it has to be appropriate. All right, color and logo design. You start with black and white. Initial design should be designed in black and white, structure and versatility. All right, and the reason I do that, again, here's a little tip. When you're a designer, one thing you have to realize is that when you are working with clients, all right, if you're doing a corporate logo, what I always do is I design it in black and white first. The reason is because, again, versatility, but also sometimes that logo will be going one color on a shirt. But the main reason why I do it in black and white first is when you show it to a client, I want them to be able to tell me or look at it and say, yeah, I like it. And if I did it in color before showing them the structure, they will 9 out of 10 times tell me the color's off. They will get hung up on the color. And we don't want to be hung up on the color, so we always do it in black and white first. Get the structure out of the way. Color can be changed. The color psychology. Different colors evoke different emotions. Red for excitement, blue is for trust. All right, McDonald's logo, there's a psychological reason why it is red and yellow. Red and yellow actually combine to make orange. Orange actually refers to hunger. And so that is why McDonald's is actually a red and yellow logo. Color harmony ensures the colors work well together. All right, so colors need to work well together. They shouldn't vibrate unless that's the look you're going for. So you have to kind of look at its harmony and find out if it's straining the eyes, or some people have color disabilities and are not able to see certain colors. All right, typography. What's your font choice? The type of font should align with brand's personality. Is it modern, classic, playful? It needs to be legible. The text should be clear and easy to read at any size. Script fonts are awful for logos because, again, depending on the script font that you choose, can be unreadable at times. And especially if you were designing something that's going to be within seconds of them reading that particular brand. So always find a font that's going to be legible. And then uniqueness. Consider customizing or creating a unique typeface for that brand. So I always encourage, if you have a certain font choice, to go ahead and do that on your own. Customize something that's not relying on choosing a font and then going from there. Design a font for it. That makes it unique, makes it one of a kind. All right, some of the best logos out there are the ones that actually have hidden meanings in them. Many logos are designed so well that they should tell a story or have a plan to them, and brilliantly use the figure-ground relationships. All right, figure-ground relationships we're going to talk about later, but it pertains to having some kind of a hidden element within a logo. So, like if we look at this one for Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Garden Aquarium, you can see that initially you may see a tree, which becomes the figure, and the white becomes the ground, or you may have seen the gorilla and the lion. Initially, those become the figure, the black around them becomes the ground. So you can kind of see that there are certain elements in here that have some certain hidden meanings in there, which is always fun to play around with. Toblerone, or Toblerone, can't pronounce that, is a candy bar that's known for a long time. But if you look at the mountain, you can see that there is a symbol of a bear up there, which actually refers to the city of the bear where the chocolate is made. So that is where it is made in Switzerland, and it has that's that symbol that's hidden in the mountain. All right, so Hope for African Children Initiative, you can kind of see that here it shows me a mother and her child, but also a symbol of Africa that is being utilized here. So there's a hidden meaning in there. Or the Spartan Golf Club, if you can kind of look, you can see maybe a golfer who's in the middle of a swing, or you may see the Spartan head that is there. So love little hidden playing around with these types of logos. Amazon is a very well-known logo that actually has two different meanings here. The first one refers to, again, they have enough product to go from A to Z. That's why it has the arrow that's pointing from A to Z. But that arrow also looks like a smiling face. So it looks like a smiling mouth there, so it actually refers to customer satisfaction. FedEx has an arrow in between the E and the X, which actually symbolizes moving forward. This is often a very complex hidden meaning logo. All right, so it has actually 8 different meanings here. And those 8 are torn apart into these particular symbols. The cross, the pulpit, the dove, the fish, the cup, the fire, the book, the Trinity. All right, so 8 different meanings for that particular logo, which is often very, very complex, and I applaud the designer who actually designed that. All right, Vio actually has 2 different meanings here. This is a technology company, and if you split the logo in half, you actually have the symbol for analog, and if you split it on the left or on the right, you can see that it is binary. So it symbolizes analog and binary, which are computer languages. All right, Baskin-Robbins shouldn't be no explanation here. We refer to Baskin-Robbins having 31 flavors. This is actually a little bit different. This is a symbol for the London Symphony Orchestra. So in this particular symbol, it's a little bit abstract, but it actually looks like a conductor with a baton on his left or right hand, or left hand, depending on if he's looking towards you or looking away from you. So Cisco actually has a symbol here with these little blue bars that are on the top of it, which actually symbolize the Golden Gate Bridge. Or the Museum of London actually refers to those abstract symbols seem like they're just design elements, but actually they refer to the expansion of London over time. So from one particular point, it actually tends to expand into different areas. So that refers to that London territory. All right, so that's about it. So I hopefully learned a little bit more about logo design and branding, so you can develop your own types of logos here in the future. All right. So I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.